So when it comes to dating, I see the term real men being used a lot. And it kind of bothers me because that's such a loose term. Like, what does that even mean? So I've been trying to figure out how I personally would define what a real man is. And after making so many dating advice videos and seeing how many men came into my comment sections getting super defensive, pointing fingers, making all sorts of excuses, I feel like what makes a real man is just one that doesn't make excuses. So if you're a man watching and you do not make excuses, could you do us all a favor and comment on this video? Because I feel like there's a lot of women watching that want to know that you exist, because the number of women out there that are completely jaded by the male species is pretty alarming. So come on down, say hi, comment, duet, tell us your philosophies of life, because I feel like a lot of women out there need that in order to restore their faith in men.
I mean, guys, the only response that I have to this video is, who hurt you? Okay, this woman's sitting here talking about how you've got all these women out here who are jaded by their relationships. They can't find a good man. They just need a man who stops, who doesn't make excuses and just does what she wants. Let me tell you something. These girls who sit here and they talk about the fact that I can't find a good man and my relationship sucked and where are all the good men? They had their chance, guys. They had their chance. They still have their chance to go out there. There'd be some guy who would come along and pick up the pieces for this woman, but she doesn't want that guy. Okay, she doesn't want the guy who would actually do things for her. No, she wants the dude who all the other women want, right? And the guy who's not going to give her the commitment, not going to give her the ring, not going to give her the relationship. So what she's going to do is she's going to sit here making videos about how women are jaded. If women are jaded by relationships, gentlemen, it is their own damn fault. Okay, and my only response, once again, is who hurt you. But let's continue on to the next video.
It comes to
I'm literally not trying to be dramatic or anything, but I apparently have a boyfriend. I'm
Guys, girls will make videos like this, right? Let's just take a look, okay? When he texts you, what are you doing at 9 p.m. instead of at 3 a.m.? Right? Let's kind of contrast the two videos, okay? Women are so used to the fact that when they date dudes, when they go out with dudes, that she knows that the guy's not going to commit. Right? The guy who's well out of her league, she knows that he's not going to commit, but she wants to see if she can get the commitment anyway. So, I kind of skipped ahead there, but we're going to kind of unpack what she has to say here.
So when it comes to dating, I see the term real men being used a lot. And it kind of bothers me because that's such a loose term. Like,
Yeah, so I thought to myself, why don't I sit here and I make a video defining what a man is? Here's the thing. You don't get to define what a man is. You don't, right? You don't get to define what masculinity is. You don't decide what makes a good man. And yet you've got all these women here saying that, oh, I want a man who does this. I want a man who does this. Okay, one, what do you bring to the table? And two, your definition of what a man is, I mean, that's fantastic for you, but nobody cares. I don't mean to be rude when I say that, guys, but it's like women do not define masculinity. They do not define what a man is. And yet here we are with this video that has thousands of likes on it talking about what makes a man. Excuse me, it has 1.6k likes on it, so maybe not thousands.
what does that even mean? So I've been trying to figure out how I personally would define what a real man is. And
Right, because we have to attach the label of how everyone personally feels about everything. Right? This is my thought and this is my opinion on everything. This is how I feel about it. It's like it's so ridiculous, right? When you talk to ladies about what they want in dating and they say, "Oh, I want this, I want that," and stuff like that. And it's just so out of touch with reality, man. It's like, "Oh, I've had experiences like this," or "I want a guy to do that." It's like, "Okay, cool, but, who the hell asks, right?"
after making so many dating advice videos and seeing how many men came into my comment sections getting super defensive, pointing fingers, making all sorts of excuses, I feel
You see, the fact that she uses the word excuses just makes you, not want to take this video seriously. When men don't want to commit, when men don't want to give you what they want, maybe they're just tired of the games, right? Maybe they're just tired of the headaches and all this dating advice that these women give, right? None of this is going to lead to any sort of happy relationship. You sitting here talking about, oh, I want a real man, I want a real dude. It's like, okay, cool. But what the hell are you doing for the relationship? Because you could have had a relationship a long time ago. Okay, so my question is, where's the ring then? Right? If you're so fantastic at relationships and you know what a real man is, where's the ring? Because you could get him if you wanted to, but no, you want to screw around and you want to waste your time, and then you want to lecture everyone on what a real man is.
I feel like what makes a real man is just one that doesn't make excuses. So if you're a man watching and you do not make excuses, could you do us all a favor and comment on this video? Because
Yeah, just let the women know, right, that you're going to be there and you're going to do whatever the hell they want and you're not going to make excuses. Okay, it's so disgusting to see this, man, and I don't make this to, to bash on this girl in the video. Don't go off sending her messages or anything like that, guys. It's just the result of videos like this is you'll get a bunch of dudes going, "Oh, look at me. I'm a good guy. I'll do things. I won't make excuses." And what ends up happening is a lot of men go out there and they get used. Okay, they get used for their time, their attention, their resources. A lot of guys will be like, "Oh, well, I'll come along and save the day." Guys, there is no saving the day for these women. They could have had their day saved a long time ago. They just don't want it. So don't fool for videos like this, man. Whenever we see videos like this on the channel, there'll always be dudes in the comments of the video saying, "Oh, well, look, I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy." She can have access to a good guy anytime that she wants. She's essentially just farming dudes for free attention, free validation, and stuff like this. And this is what girls will do so that down the line they have somebody to change their light bulb and crap like that.
I feel like there's a lot of women watching that want to know that you exist, because the number of women out there that are completely jaded by the male species is pretty alarming. So
And you know what? That's entirely their own doing. Entirely. Right? Because anytime, and I make this point pretty much every video, guys, anytime a woman complains about the fact that I'm jaded by a relationship, it's like, okay, well, why don't you just choose a guy that would be there and do things for you? Because there's always going to be a dude that will come along and pick up your pieces. I mean, even those guys, even the videos that we see of these women on this channel, right, who have multiple kids, with multicolored hair and crap like that, there'd still be a dude willing to come along and to have a relationship with them. Right. So when girls talk about, "Oh, I'm jaded because of my relationships," how about you lower your expectations? That 6 foot guy who earns 6 figures, you're not going to be able to get him.
come on down, say hi, comment, duet, tell us your philosophies of life, because I feel like a lot of women out there need that in order to restore their faith in men.
Yeah, guys, just give her free validation. Just give her, tell her what a real man you are so that they can feel better about themselves. Oh my, it's just ridiculous. Let's continue onwards to the next video.
Dramatic or anything, but I'm literally not trying to be dramatic or anything, but I apparently have a boyfriend.
Okay, so this clip on it, if you're someone who's not watching the screen right now, she says on the video, when he texts, "What are you doing?" at 9 p.m. instead of at 3 a.m. And she's saying, "I don't mean to brag or anything, but I have a boyfriend now." Let me tell you something about dating in 2021, okay? A lot of these women are dating dudes who don't text them outside of hours of, what shall we say, 1 to 4 a.m. Right? These girls will literally be seeing a bunch of dudes at exactly this hour, at 3 a.m., coming over for 20 minutes and then calling it a day there. Right? And this is what women will talk about. They'll go, "Oh, well, how come he doesn't put in effort, right? How come he won't give me a relationship?" It's like, maybe that guy who's seeing you at 3 a.m. for 20 minutes, maybe he wasn't interested in you, in you at all. Maybe he didn't want to have a relationship with you, but you tell girls that, it's like, "Oh no, I can change him, right? I can get a relationship out of him." And meanwhile, the majority of men are expected to be on standby and tell them what a good man that they are and try and prove themselves as per the last video. But anyway, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video, doing the intro at 9 minutes in because I totally forgot. But guys, today we're going to be looking at a couple of TikToks that you gentlemen have sent into the show, as well as a few Reddit stories if we have time. But before we crack into it, gentlemen, if you're new here, you're liking the videos, make sure that you subscribe on your way in. And as always, if you're interested in supporting the channel, make sure you check out the locals link in the description, guys. With code Fiendish, the first month is totally free on me. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, make sure that you go and check that out. But let's jump back into this, and we'll talk about this for a moment before we continue into the next video, okay? Because this is something that a lot of guys are kind of kept on the outside about, right? A lot of guys don't really know this, where that girl in your class, maybe you're a university student, or maybe that girl at your work, right? Whenever women talk about the fact that their relationships are bad, or it's funny, right? Because the reaction you'll typically get is if you ask a girl about her relationships and, what do you think of guys? She'll give like some sort of sigh or eye roll about, "Oh, it's just so difficult in the dating market," right? Because as if it's so hard for them. And what they're doing, in case you're wondering, is they're seeing dudes at 3 a.m., right? They're seeing Chad at 3 a.m. for 20 minutes. He's driving over there. Sometimes she's driving. More often than not, she's doing the driving, actually. But and then they want to complain about the fact that there are no real men. They'll pass up hundreds of men to go and see a dude at 3 a.m. and expect you to come along with flowers and all this crap, man. It's pretty crazy. But let's continue on to the next video.
Honestly, I'm at the point in my life where I can't even tell my friends whether I'm seeing someone or casually dating because I'm so excited about it, and I tell them everything, and then 2 weeks later they're like, what happened to Brad? And I'm like, who the fuck's Brad?
And guys, you may recognize that audio and you might say to yourself, Taylor, didn't we hear that video a while ago, right? Didn't we hear that exact same audio? And that's because this is an audio that a woman has posted on TikTok, and now a whole bunch of women are using that exact same audio. Right? So in other words, it wasn't just one girl having this problem, it is literally thousands of them. Right? So these girls, I'll play that one more time so we can go through what she said here, right?
Honestly, I'm at the point in my life where I can't even tell my friends whether I'm seeing someone or casually dating because I'm so excited about it, and I tell them everything, and then 2 weeks later they're like, what happened to Brad? And I'm like, who the fuck is Brad?
You see, because what they're doing is they've got multiple men on the go at the same time. Right? It's never like, oh yeah, I'm in a relationship with a guy or I'm seeing a guy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be 100% faithful. No, gentlemen. I've said this many times, but it is the fast food era that we're living in terms of dating. These women, right, rather than being faithful to one person or trying to get one dude, no, see, they've got to have multiple dudes on at the same time, right, or at least consecutive weeks back to back, and then they still expect a commitment. The funny part is, right, if you're a dude and you can get a whole bunch of these girls and stuff like that, and you're one of the guys out here who is not committing to these women, the question is, why the hell would you even commit? Right? You know that while she's seeing you and while she's telling you that she loves you and you're a fantastic guy and all this crap, you know that she's seeing other dudes during that time anyway. Right? So she'll sit there and she'll beg for a relationship. Oh, please get with me. I care about you so much. I love you so much. And then, like, the dudes who get all the girls, they're not stupid. They see these women out there with a bunch of other guys and stuff like that. They're basically just fishing for a relationship from a dude who is out of their league. And you know what? Even if the dude gives up the relationship, that doesn't mean that these women are going to be happy. I mean, gentlemen, we talk about this on the channel, but happiness, trying to make a woman happy is such a terrible goal because it's just so unachievable. Right? One time they want a man who's emotional and who cares about them. Another time they need a man to absolutely, dominate and do all of these, like, the thing is, women's wants in a man are so varied and change from moment to moment that there is literally no point trying to satisfy them. Right? Even if you were a guy and you were looking at this from a pragmatic sense and you wanted to say, oh, Taylor, well, I want to go out there and date, it still doesn't make sense to pedestalize these women and give them what the hell they want because oftentimes they don't even know men. Like, they'll spend, and I wish I was joking when I say this, guys, but I'm really not. These women will be out here literally chasing men for sometimes up to years, right? Chasing the same dude. And you know what happens when they get him, right? When they finally manage to change his behavior and get him to do what they want, they lose interest. And here's the thing, not only that, when they get marriages and stuff like that, they're incentivized to lose interest. Because, hey, why the hell not, right? If you enter into a contract with someone and you can take them for half their crap, sometimes even more, and the children, right? Why the hell would you not want to lose interest? Like, these women are literally incentivized for ruining their own relationships. How crazy is that? But continuing on to the next video.
Every woman reaches that point in her singlehood where she gives up on the pursuit for a relationship and she waves the white flag of wholeness. And she's like, I can't do this no more.
I gave up on a relationship. And again, I just want to point this out, okay? So you guys can't see, but off to the right-hand side of the screen, there's how many likes are on this video, okay? This video of this woman saying this has 10.9 thousand likes on it, which means it has well over 100,000 views on the video itself. And a lot of women relate to this. Okay, they quote-unquote give up on a relationship. It's so funny to see, right, when girls say, I give up on a relationship or I can't find a guy. It's because their expectations are too damn high. It really is. It's nothing. Guys, you want to go out here, you want to be this whole strong, independent, I don't need no man crap, and I'm going to continue to chase dudes who are well out of my league. That's totally fine. You can do whatever the hell you want. Nobody's stopping you. But here's the thing. You're going to be the one that ends up alone. You're going to be the one that ends up with cats and stuff like that. And you can get sympathy from people who don't know any better, but people who watch videos like this and people who see what the hell is going on, the veil starts to get lifted from people's eyes, and it's really hard to have sympathy, right? Girls who complain about the fact that I can't get a relationship, I can't get a man. It really is laughable, gentlemen. It really is laughable. I mean, let's just play that one more time so we can hear what she said. And keep in mind when we play this through that thousands and thousands and thousands of women relate to what this woman just said.
Every woman reaches that point in her singlehood where she gives up on the pursuit for a relationship and she waves the white flag of wholeness. And she's like, I can't do this no more.
Yeah, because why the hell would you go for one relationship and struggle to get it when you can try and get multiple relationships from multiple men and see if anything sticks, right? And again, I'll make the point that we just made a second ago, gentlemen, which is that these girls who want a relationship from that guy who is well out of their league, that relationship that she's trying to attain, it's not as if the dude doesn't see what the hell she's doing. Right, she's going out to town every weekend. She's still on Tinder. She's still on Bumble. She's on all these dating apps, whatever app you've got in your country, right? And any man is supposed to take them seriously. It's like, can you imagine? I want you guys to imagine for a second, okay? You're seeing a girl like this, and she wants to be your wife, right? She wants you. She wants you to get in a contract with her and bond yourselves together till death do you part, which let's be honest isn't really the case nowadays. And for what? Like really. And guys, this is the last video, and let's just see what this woman has to say or not say.
God, I just fucking hate it that I have a dump truck ass and a great personality to boot. It's the cross I bear.
Yeah, and welcome to TikTok, guys. I mean, this is the stuff that, when we look for videos like this and when you guys send me videos, a lot of videos are just this, right? Where the girls don't even have anything to say, right? They're just trying to show off what the hell they look like because these are the same types of women who will make videos like the previous one, right? Where they talk about, oh, I can't find a man, I can't find a dude who cares about me. And meanwhile, they're just online just fishing for validation and likes and crap like that. Like, that's all that they're doing. They don't want a relationship. They don't want love. They don't want a partner. A lot of these girls, truth be told, when they talk about marriage, a lot of times when these women end up getting married, they're marrying men that they're not even attracted to just so that they can get crap out of the relationship and then move on. Right? It's never really... These days, gentlemen, this is kind of a sad thought to say, and I don't mean to turn the episode into a bit of a bummer, okay? But it really is just not so much about love these days, gentlemen. Right? Love has really seen its way out, and what it's been replaced with is crap like this on the internet, where it's all about how many likes can I get, right? How much attention can I get? And that's what makes me valuable, right? How many men look at me on a daily basis? And these are the same types of girls, again, which they think that they're deserving of a relationship. Holy hell, man. But let's continue into today's first Reddit story, because honestly, my brain is really hurting after some of those TikToks. So let's jump into... Okay. I've got to hold in the laughter, guys. I really do. Okay, let's crack into it. This one is titled, "The lack of attractive men out there is so disheartening," and it is a rant. "I feel like I am really only attracted to one type of guy. Tall, lanky, well-dressed, full head of hair. I have tried dating many types of men, but these are the only type that I find truly attractive. However, it's so disheartening how few of them are out there. It got to a point where I was watching a show in which the main male character fit this description, and I got sad because the actor is taken IRL. I've literally been in my feelings all day about it. I don't want to objectify anyone, but I do feel that we can hold out for someone that we truly find physically attractive, that there's nothing inherently wrong with that. I don't want to live with a scarcity mindset. I know that focusing on what I'm lacking isn't the right way to go about it. However, it does get to me sometimes when I realize that realistically, the chances that I meet someone who is attractive to me who also wants to be with me and is high value is just very slim. Sigh. Just a rant, I guess. Or if anyone has any tips, I'd love to hear how you move past this. And can we just take a moment to once again read the title and have a bit of a laugh here, okay? The lack of attractive men out there is so disheartening. And let's just hash this one more time right here, okay? Where I I do feel that we can hold out for someone that we truly find physically attractive. Here's the thing. A lot of these women who talk about this, they don't have time. Truth be told, gentlemen, they don't have the time to be holding out for a guy and trying to find a guy who they can get a relationship with, because you're going to be holding out forever, right? And if that's something that you want to do, then that's totally fine. But I mean, it's just pretty funny to watch these girls talk about how I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna hold out for a guy that I find attractive. It's like that 6 foot guy that makes six figures. He's not coming back for you, right? He's really not. And a lot of these girls, they end up spending their entire lives waiting for that guy to return, and he never does, right? Well, let's continue on to the next story, and this one is a bit of a doozy, right? It is titled, "At what age did you realize male validation means absolutely nothing?" I am 21 years old, and I'm at a stage where I'm mourning all of the years that I wasted on men. It all began when I started doing a certain kind of work that I can't talk about on YouTube at 18, thinking I was so powerful for capitalizing off being desirable. I learned quickly about how men will have bedroom fun with literally anything, and that I wasn't special, just brainwashed, and I haven't fully healed from what I've done to myself, but I'm getting there. From then until I was about 20, I dated around constantly, never not having a boyfriend. I couldn't stand being alone. I loved the attention, the dates, the feeling of being wanted and adored. But in reality, I was being used, manipulated, and taken advantage of from left to right. You gotta love, right? How in the same breath, these women will say, okay, here's the things that I did, and here's the reasons that I did it. But oh no, I've been tricked and I've been manipulated. I mean, guys, can we just take a moment to appreciate how backwards this is, okay? So she really liked the attention, the dates, the feeling of being wanted and adored, but at the same time, she was being used. No, 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 no. See, you can't have both at once. I'm kind of exhausted at the moment, guys. But that kind of almost slipped my mind there, where like these girls, man, they'll try and do this sneaky stuff where they have their cake and eat it too. No matter what, they have to appear like the victim. I mean, this woman is out here, right, baiting men uh, for attention, dates, and feeling validated and wanted and adored, but she's still the victim. That's crazy, isn't it? None of the losers I dated gave a crap about me. I was giving away so much love and energy that was never returned when I should have been giving it all to myself. I never realized that I had certain types of addictions up until this year. I've been getting the help that I need and see things so differently now. I don't care for male validation anymore, nor do I need it. Love is wonderful. I have lots of it, and when it comes, it will come. I don't chase it anymore. I don't look for it. I just can't help but feel sad and angry for all the time that I wasted because of how I craved male attention and validation. I've been with so many people that never saw me as a human, it makes me feel sick to my stomach. I know that I'm only 21 and all I can do is move forward now, but those are years that I will never be able to get back. I should have been able to use that time to focus on my degree, career, hobbies, friendships, and my family. At what age did you realize that male validation meant nothing to you? I really want to hear about your own stories. I just feel so down tonight. Edit. Queens. Queens. Thank you for all of your responses, kind words, support, and stories. I am so thankful I found this subreddit. It saved me in a million ways. I truly don't know where I would be without it. And before we comment, actually, I'm going to see what these people have commented on it. I don't really know what these girls have written. So let's just see what some people actually, what some of these women have to say. So this woman here in the comments of this article says, "My best friend in university was a sugar baby and experienced the same." Best friend, I doubt it. It's probably this woman typing. It's natural to feel wanted, loved, and cared for. You're young, and although you can't undo the past, you can learn from it. Sometimes it's not just men we desire validation from, but our parents or friends. That's actually a really good point, right? Where a lot of these women who they chase dudes and they get with a whole bunch of men and stuff like that. Oftentimes it's because they're chasing the father figure that was never in their life. So I can kind of see how that would make sense. To answer your question, 23. That was when I hit rock bottom. After an A-word relationship, I was heartbroken. Not because I was ever in love, but because everything around me was crumbling. Male validation was worthless because I realized I had to sacrifice myself to get it. In a heteronormative society, I needed to marry men, be attracted to men. The real hang-up was that the women who desired men unconsciously agreed to acceptable forms of male V-word. It was this unspoken truth amongst women that in order to be with men, I need to tolerate X, Y, and Z. I said, F that S, I deserve better. Don't be so hard on yourself. Also, don't be sad about being angry. You should be angry. I am. I am here if you want to chat. I am sure the other ladies will extend a similar courtesy. Yeah, don't you hate it, right? Where I just love, right, when we read stuff like this, how it just always manages to go back to the fact that these ladies are the victim in the situation. I saw all these men. I went on so many dates. I loved the attention. But you know what? I was somehow the victim in this situation. No, you voluntarily chose it, right? And a lot of the times when these girls get frustrated, the reasons why they get frustrated at this is because they realize that, oh, I'm kind of chasing my tail here. I'm never going to get Chad to commit. Or alternatively, when the attention starts to dry up and they don't get as much attention anymore. And I'm aware that that girl was only 21, guys, but you would be surprised how these women ruin their bodies and stuff like that when they're out there doing those jobs. So let's continue on to the second last story of today. This one is titled, The Simple, Foolproof Way to Get Your Partner to Contribute His Fair Share to the Chores, Cooking, and Household Management. You can go to countless subreddits and find frustrated women asking, how can I get my partner to contribute to chores and cooking? He doesn't do anything around the house. I'm exhausted doing it all by myself while he plays video games 24/7. Well, my dear ladies, I'm here to share this one simple, foolproof way to get your partner to contribute. You replace him. Yeah, you just throw the whole man out and get a new one. That's the only way to get your partner to contribute his fair share to chores, cooking, and household management. Yeah, guys, because why the hell, right, would you ever work on a relationship when you can just throw out the guy? Right, and again, these are the same women that'll get really frustrated if you do the same to them. I'm just going to pull up a bit of footage here while I talk about this for a moment, guys, okay? So let's just have a look. When women talk about this and they say, "Oh, I can't get a dude to do these chores and I can't get a dude to do that," so what I'm going to go out here and I'm going to go out here and I'm just going to replace him. It's like, fine, you can replace the dudes, but don't. But every time you do that, like it's your own, it's just yourself that you're screwing over. Okay, a lot of these women who I'm a queen, I don't need no man. I'm just gonna go out there and have relationship after relationship, and if a man doesn't give me what I want, then I'm gonna head for the door. It's like, okay, but you're gonna be the one that ends up without a ring, without a relationship and stuff like that. Because if every time something goes wrong, you just throw the whole man out, then good luck to you. Okay, and the other thing I want to say about this as well is like a lot of these women who complain about men not contributing to chores, a lot of times the men are the ones paying the bills, right? There'd be no chores to even do if you two didn't even have a damn house. But hey, if he wants to play some video games, then that's on him. You need to be more attentive. You need to give me compliments. You need to do all this. It's such a joke, man, when I read these things, because rather than actually work on anything, a lot of these girls will just throw the whole man out. And I get that, right? Like if he goes like he doesn't have a job and he doesn't do anything and he just like actually does awful things in the relationship, like what I can't talk about here on YouTube, that's fine. But if a dude's just playing video games, I mean, the guy has hobbies, right? It's just funny to see how whenever a woman doesn't get what she wants in the relationship, the solution is to just throw him out. Right? And I understand if you're throwing him out because he's actually a terrible person, but a lot of these guys are not terrible dudes, right? They just have hobbies and stuff like that. So let's have a look what the rest of this article has to say. No couple is going to be on the exact same page about how to run a household when they move in together, but if you're with someone with the expectations wildly different than yours, i.e. he wants you to do 85% of the work when he does 15, there's no way to course correct. No amount of communicating, conversations, chore charts, begging, etc. will get him to help you. You either need to find a new relationship with someone who views household management through the same lens as you, or accept that this is your life now. And well, the first option is much better for your happiness and mental wellness. Chore charts? Really? Chore charts. That's just disgusting, isn't it? I can't tell you, gentlemen, how many dudes I see in relationships, right? Where the women will leverage bedroom fun against the guy and give him lists of things to do. It really is such a joke, guys. Like, I would hope if you guys are watching videos like this, and you start to understand what the hell is going on in relationships, please don't put it, especially if you're a dude who's paying all the bills, please do not be putting up with this BS. Right? A lot of these girls who complain about the fact that men don't do chores and, oh, he plays video games, Who's paying the damn bills, right? But let's continue on to today's last story before we wrap up the episode. This one is titled, When Dating, Do You Have Certain Professions That You Avoid? Here is my list, and I don't know if I covered this in the last video, guys. The stories have kind of blended together here, but let's see what this woman has to say. Here's my list of professions that I avoid. I avoid doctors. They're too entitled and full of themselves, feeling like their profession in itself is enough to make them attractive, while not understanding the difference between arrogance and confidence. Number 2, pilots. Same as the one above to a milder degree. My profession is my personality. Number 3, psychologists and therapists. I believe most of them have their own deep-rooted issues that instead of acknowledging and working on, they subconsciously try to fix by fixing someone else. This is just my experience, but I honestly haven't met a psychologist who wasn't a narcissist, sociopath, etc. Also, many of them will use their psychological knowledge to try and manipulate you. Next one. Men who work as teachers and kindergartens with children in general. I'm child-free, so this is just my personal preference, as I know I wouldn't be a good match with someone who enjoys children enough to work with them. Next one. Fitness instructors. I don't know if I even have to explain this one, but people who make an extreme focus on physical appearance, mirror selfies, and protein smoothies their identity are a huge turn-off for me, yeah. Because God forbid a man actually works on his physique and works out. Like, what the hell even is that, man? Professions that I do find attractive. Business owners and entrepreneurs can be anything from a carpenter to something more extensive. I tend to be attracted to people who are very independent and show initiative, and I find that these traits are often found in men who choose to start their own business instead of working for someone else. Chefs, I like food and men who can cook, and men who work and are good at something that requires completely different skills and knowledge than my own in general. I enjoy spending time with people who can teach me new things, inspire, and challenge me. Oh, and I have to add one. Yoga instructors. Been there, done that, not going back. This woman has been with yoga instructors, chefs, business owners and entrepreneurs, fitness instructors, teachers, kindergarten teachers, psychologists and therapists, pilots and doctors, and I'm sure that this list goes on. Gentlemen, if you think back to the first TikTok where the woman was saying how, oh, I can't find a relationship or I can't find a man, these women go through so many men. They go through men of all different walks of life and who do all sorts of different professions, all sorts of knowledge, all sorts of different interests, and they still can't find a man. At the end of the day, it's their own damn fault. But guys, we are going to be calling today's episode there. So as always, if you did enjoy, make sure that you subscribe on your way out and make sure you leave your thoughts and your comments as well, guys. If you disagree with anything I've said, feel free to do so. That is what the comments box is for. And as always, if you are interested in supporting the channel, once again, make sure that you check out the locals link in the description. The first month over there is totally free on me with code Fiendish, guys. So make sure you go over there if you're interested in supporting the channel. But for now, we will be calling today's episode there. So as always, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves. And I will be seeing you boys in the next episode. Peace.